It was night, yet an unusual silence had settled everywhere. Oliver lay in his bed, but he wasn't sleeping peacefully. His heart was beating strangely fast, and inside him a storm of feelings was raging. Hopes, doubts, and fears all tangled together. Suddenly, a soft yet powerful voice whispered in his ear, "Oliver." He opened his eyes and found himself somewhere else. In the middle of a misty, calm space, before him stood an old man with bright eyes and a warm smile. The man's gaze was full of wisdom and peace, as if he carried thousands of years of life within him. "Oliver, you have a dream in your heart that everyone talks about, but no one starts. You are the only one ready to fight the hardships." Oliver trembled a little and asked, "But what if I fail? What if everything falls apart?" The old man kindly replied, "Failure is part of the path. Are you ready to live bravely? Are you ready to turn your dreams into reality, even if you fall many times?" The man's voice was like the wind whispering through the trees. Oliver grabbed his heart and answered, "Yes, I am ready." Suddenly, everything went dark, and he woke up again in his bed, but this time, something had changed. It was as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his shoulders. He stood up, took a deep breath, and told himself, "Today is the beginning of my journey." The next morning, in the small garage of his house, Oliver began his work. His hands were tired and rough, but his eyes shone with hope. He sketched his designs on paper, built parts from old wood and iron, and every time he failed, he remembered that old man who told him to be brave. Villagers watched from afar and mocked him, saying, "That boy doesn't know what he's doing. We all just talk, but he's wasting his time." Oliver smiled softly, indifferent to their words, and went back to work. Every time his experimental machine broke down, he felt one step closer to his goal. Oliver spent his days in the small, cold garage where the smell of iron and oil lingered and the sound of hammer blows and saws echoed in the air. His hands were full of scratches and wounds, but he never gave up. When the sun rose fresh behind the mountains, Oliver was busy inspecting parts, lost in a world only he could see. Every day, looking at the village, he saw how tired and weary the farmers were under the heavy burden of work. Their tired eyes, their extinguished hopes, all made his heart beat faster. Oliver knew that if he could build his machine, life for all of them would change, but challenges grew every day. Broken parts, a budget running dry, and most of all, the villagers' words, sometimes sarcastic and sometimes mocking, "Why are you wasting your time on this junk? Go and do your farming." Oliver knew with all his heart that the only way to succeed was to pass through those words and doubts. Every time he felt like giving up, he remembered the old man from his dream who said, "Failure is part of the path. Be brave, live, and follow your dreams." One day, when heavy rain flooded the garage and his experimental machine broke again, Oliver sat on the ground, tears welling up in his eyes. In that moment of despair, the old man's calm and kind voice echoed in his mind again. "Oliver, you are stronger than you think." He stood up, wiped the dirt off his knees, and told himself, "This won't be the last time." When the cold winter days turned into green spring, Oliver's machine was no longer just a dream. The farmers gathered excitedly around it, and Oliver looked proudly into their eyes. The machine chewed through the dry soil, preparing the land for planting, something the village had needed for years. That day, when an old man from the village approached him, he said, "You didn't just build a machine, you brought hope back to our hearts." Oliver understood that nothing could turn dreams into reality like effort and faith. He taught everyone that dreams don't work unless you do.